We're going live. So we're back from outer space. I just walked into.
I will survive. No, sorry.
So, the one obvious change is.
Hey, Nixie.
Is this?
It's the coolest thing ever.
So I chopped my hair off.
Yes.
Yesterday
I really
night,
like it.
and I didn't send a picture to Grace. She had to see it when I got here.
I know. It took me a second, and then I did a double take, and then I went. I feel like your hair was always supposed to look like that.
I am kind of loving it.
Yay, Nixie.
It was really cool.
I'm still growing out these bangs, trying to decide what they're doing.
These are my bangs. I grew them out in 4th grade. And they've never grown longer than this.
That's awesome.
They're just this
These
length
are
forever.
These are doing all the things. These have been cut like 3 times.
Yeah, these just don't grow anymore. This is just the length that they are.
That's kind of awesome.
The quilt.
Thank you for waiting 100 years for all of the exciting things.
We will cover some of it in the audio part of this podcast, just so we don't have to mention it twice. But the other thing that we'll show you is this, what we're drinking today. Can we have it? There we go. This amazing bottle of Jamaican ginger wine.
I love it.
I saw this and I went, it's wine that's ginger and I want it in my life.
It's a sneaky little fucker.
It is the smoothest damn thing.
It's like, what's up? I'm just like ginger ale, but not.
It
'cause
tastes
you're gonna get drunk.
like, it doesn't taste just like flat ginger ale.
No, it's
But it's also
yes,
not,
but no. Yes,
Yeah.
but not in a bad way.
not in a bad way. And it doesn't have that like a strong hit of ginger. It's this really beautiful. You know what it tastes like? I know exactly what it tastes like. This is ginger mead.
Oh,
It
that's
tastes
what
like
it is.
ginger
Yes.
mead. It
Yep.
has that meaty, nice,
That is
roundy
exactly
flavor.
what it
I'm
is.
pretty sure this says ginger wine, but I'm pretty sure this is ginger mead,
It's ginger
which
mead.
makes me now want to make ginger mead.
Let's do it forever. Yes.
Oh, it's so good. Probably made with that beautiful sugar cane that they have there.
I bet.
Guys, guess where I went? Jamaica. Okay. Anything else before we get this recording party started?
I like Ferris wheels.
Ferris wheels are fun.
Nothing to report. Let's get on with the show. It's been a while.
Well, I mean, again, you have other news, but we'll touch on it in the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we will share
Yeah.
the tiny. Wait.
Okay.
I will give a sneak peek.
Oh, give a sneak peek.
Because I can. Here. Wait. Just wait.
You only
just
have a
wait.
couple photos.
Just wait. Let's see which one's the best one. Let's go with that one.
Okay.
This is now part of our life.
There you go.
Can we see him?
You got your little flare. You go.
I will tell you his name on the audio cast.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bring it to the audio cast. What number are we? 180, 158?
158.
158. I went through every single number before 158.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You know what's awesome too is the people can't see it. A little boy attacked my face last weekend
Oh, yeah.
accidentally, and my superhuman healing powers is gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
He wants to see pictures.
Oh, you're going to see him later today. There's a bartender next
There's a
over there.
bartender husband, Nick.
There's a bartender, no longer fiance Nick.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, well, we wait to record
Yeah.
until we
Good
get
luck.
the
There
thing
may
back.
be things there you don't want to see. Bye.
Okay. Alrighty. Welcome to episode 158 of There's No Place Like Terra, a Stargate First Watch Rewatch podcast. I am Nixie.
And I'm Grace. And today we're going over Atlantis, Season 1, Episode 3, Hide and Seek, a.k.a. this is not the real Iron Man.
My AKA is something along of hockey is the only man's sport. It's the every woman's sport.
I'm super pumped. And
You need to be tougher than the average American man to play hockey.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, I brought it.
I love today, the day of all days. You're going to diss football?
Yeah, I will diss football. I will diss football today of all days.
Today, the day of my football player's quinceañera.
This is coming out after the Super Bowl, and
it's being recorded on
the
Super
most
Bowl. Hallowed of all football days.
Which I believe is only appropriate because the podcast that brought us together recorded their first episode.
That's true.
On Super Bowl.
Sunday. Oh, that's
Long live the Nerdist. I hope
the day of the
commercials win. Because I don't care about either team. I just hate one of the teams. I said it. Deal with it.
Never in my life did I think I would root for an LA-based team. But look,
this is what the Patriots
when
have
the
done
shit
to you.
hits the fan, the West Coast comes together.
Listen, I don't normally root for University of Michigan. However, when they're playing Ohio State, at least one team belongs in the mitten and is not Ohio.
Yes. Ta-da! Done.
Also, guys, I'm a Michigan State fan. Have you caught on yet? Okay. So we've had some. There's been, before we start this episode,
there's been a couple of life changes.
We've had some life in the past couple weeks.
Some growth in the families, some changes.
Yes.
I'll let you start.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago tomorrow, got married.
And it's stuck.
We had
marriage.
What I am confident to say is the most successful, most geek chic wedding ever, that if you didn't have fun, it was your own damn fault.
It is the most successful of all the duck weddings.
Yeah. So far, yes.
So far.
We only had a bar of 3.
So it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It went very quick, as they always say it does.
There was a lot of fucking dancing.
There was a lot of dancing because friend of the pod, Dan, was our amazing DJ, which everyone was raving about him.
Yeah. And then amazing. He comes, I will share a note with you that I think is funny and you will appreciate. At the end of the night, as being one of the maids, my job is to kind of help coordinate the end of things.
Ladies. There were no maids.
One of the ladies.
Yes.
One of the bitches in waiting. Friend of the pod, Dan, comes up to domestic partner Jesse and Grace and goes, I want you to consider this my audition. See you guys soon. So now the pressure or the breath down the back or the serial killer running at us with a marriage knife is solely focused on us because he's taken everyone else down.
Yeah. No, that's I think that's firmly established.
We could put Nicole's mom on that duty.
Yeah. No, please.
I have someone who can push further.
I'm gonna take this moment.
They say sharpen the pitchfork.
Notice how I destroyed this thing out of sheer nerves.
It took me so long.
I'm sorry. I left this one alone.
We have some those little magnetic balls that are basically illegal to sell now because
children can eat them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a drink.
Feel free to play with them.
Drinks time.
So then the day after that happened,
as if there wasn't enough going on. So let me share how this happened because we did not mean for it to happen this way.
Look, do you know the commercial where the husband goes out to get milk and then comes back with the puppy?
It's a little bit like that.
Okay, keep that in mind. Now go.
Okay, so weeks before the wedding.
Like a week.
I guess it was a week.
It was like a week.
It feels like 100 years.
It was the last time we recorded.
In fact, it was because it was after I record. I was like headed home, gonna stop by it, pick up some dog food, and then be home. No big.
Yeah.
Nothing unusual. I head to the dog store. To the pet store.
Dog food.
To the pet store, and there's a rescue agency there with some pups. Now, first I see this litter of beagles, and I was like, "Oh, they're so cute! They're so adorable!"
But they're beagles.
And then there's other dogs just kind of running around, and I'm doing my thing. I'm carrying a bag of like 40-pound, maybe 30-pound bag of dog food around, and I'm trying to get to the register, and I don't even see. I overhear a little boy, and I hear the the service person, like
Yeah.
the volunteer, say, I forgot what name they gave him. That's kind of great though, because his name is not the same anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't. Oh, it was Ross.
Ross.
Yeah.
They say little Ross is been returned twice because he's too rambunctious. And I was like, I know a rambunctious dog. And I look and I see this little boy, this tiny, like tiny for my opinion.
Let's just say tiny means almost the size that Kaylee is currently.
He's about 20 pounds, 20, 22, 23.
He looks much bigger in photos.
Yeah, he's about 20 pounds. He's 4 months old. Terrier mix is what they call them now, but he's a pitty.
He's a pitty, yeah.
This little boy, this fawn colored little boy, just running around, terrorizing everybody, and I was like, I love him. So I set this bag down, play with him, and I'm like, okay, it was nice meeting this dog. Gotta go bye. And I go home and I tell domestic partner Jesse about him, thinking he'll be like, we said the summer,
Yeah.
because we did. We said in the summer, and he goes. He does not say, we'll wait till summer. He said, do you want to go back and look at him together?
You're like, don't ask me
To
that.
which my mind went, is this a dream?
Where am I? Who
And
am
I was
I?
like, let's do it. So yeah, longer story shorter. Yes, we were approved. We were approved before the wedding, but we said we cannot take him before this weekend because it's going to be
Because
the mother of all
shenanigans.
weekends.
Yeah.
And we'd hate to leave him home alone for that. And if someone comes for him before the weekend's over, then he wasn't meant to be. We get a call later that same day saying, we'll hold on to him for you.
Yay!
So Tuesday after the wedding, we went and brought home a Mr. Nathan Drake.
Or AKA Dr. Drake Ramore.
As Nixie has decided to call him. He goes by Drake, but he is the same colorings as Nathan Drake in A Thief's End.
Okay.
Which is the latest of
So
all.
his coloring is pitty?
It's like the fawn color, brown, dirty brown with the blue eyes, the same color of Nathan Drake's shirt. And he's a little runaway, a little orphan with an unknown past.
There you go.
Rambunctious and likes to climb things. So what better name than Nathan fucking Drake? I've never seen a dog climb this much.
To the point of I have yet to meet him. Because I was in Jamaica at an all-inclusive, drinking a lot, sitting by the beach, reading a lot, swimming a lot, living in a bathing suit.
We promise there will be pictures of a Stormy and a Drake and maybe even a guest star, Kaylee Gedden.
Possibly. They're gonna meet for the first time today. We'll see how that goes.
It'll be interesting. It took Stormy a while. He was like, what is this?
That's basically what I
Why
assumed
is it here?
Kaylee will be doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we spent a week chillaxing in Jamaica, where we got this beautiful Jamaican ginger wine that we are currently drinking on this podcast. We brought back a lot of rum.
We promise eventually we'll get to the pod. One more full disclosure. Half of my notes are missing.
So she's going to wing it.
So I'm going to wing it because I was, again, I'm the mother of two small dogs. Two rambunctious boy dogs. And I feel like, I always thought I would be the mother of boys. Yeah. I just didn't think they'd be four-legged.
You are the mother of dragons.
I am the mother of dog dragons. I was doing notes in bed and they were playing, and I think
the mother of doggins.
What would be the equivalent of a dog to a dragon?
A fire lizard from the Dragon Riders of Pern.
A velociraptor? I don't know. What is the equivalent?
But like a three-headed dog would be? Or
Cerebus?
I guess, maybe.
Guarding the gates of heck.
I'm still going with fire lizards. For all of you Pern lovers out there, one of the greatest fantasy series, I believe, that's ever been written, except for Lord of the Rings. That's a whole other classification.
I'll take fire lizard.
They're
I don't know what they are, but I'll take it.
Again, we'll get to Stargate. So the cool thing...
Direwolf?
Oh, I see. As far as what other mythical creature they would be. They are little dire wolves. They're very protective and they're very badass.
But here's the cool thing about Pern. They have dragons, but they're good dragons. And they're mentally connected to the rider so they can communicate telepathically.
Nice.
And they're giant. Like they're the size of large airplanes.
Well, I will tell you that this dog will be giant.
And then
because he is already almost stormy size.
and then they have little versions called fire lizards, which what they were bred out of because they're genetically engineered to be big. So fire lizards are basically like they can sit on your shoulder, but they're bigger, but they're like bird weighted because they fly.
Got it.
And they breathe fire.
So they're perching on
your shoulder.
I will say that these dogs do like to perch.
And they'll like snake their tail around you.
I like it.
And they also, again, you get them when they hatch, and then they mentally connect with you when they hatch.
I like it.
I really want fire lizards. Also, I love the Dragonite part. Okay, Stargate.
Once upon a time, there was this little show called Stargate.
Atlantis.
And then it was so great that they made a spin-off called Stargate Atlantis. And then we made it 2 episodes in and then fell apart. And now we're back!
I already did that one. Okay. This episode first aired July 23rd, 2004. It was written by Robert C. Cooper, Brad Wright helped with the story, and directed by David Ray Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So we start with, which will somehow always be one of my favorite Carson Rodney scenes.
Okay.
Maybe it's because it just happened early on. Maybe because it perfectly sums up their relationship. I just love this scene and always will.
Yeah.
Rodney is hoping to hit on some of these ocean women, as you do. To be fair, Carson is hoping to too. You know he is. And I mean, they did save them.
I feel like McKay's always looking for an opportunity.
McKay is all talk.
Jockeying for position, if we're going to keep it in that hockey.
It is. But again, Rodney's all talk.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes.
And Carson, in his genius, has developed an experimental gene therapy that's going to deliver the missing ATA gene to people.
Words are things.
Yes. He would never have had approval back on Earth from any...
I do love that. He's like, international rules don't apply intergalactically. What?
It's legal here in this galaxy. Here we go. I'm just going to shove it in your arm now.
Gotta go bite.
He's so nonchalant about this, and McKay just keeps getting more nervous. But
he's just gonna keep muttering the truth without as fast as he can, so he can get through
he's
it.
Like, I just want to jet this your arm.
It's like when you're little and you're like, "Hey, mom, can I go outside?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go down the street to play with these other kids that you tell me I'm not supposed to play with." Bye.
And I love how McKay also thinks that medical science is, I believe, voodoo, the word he used.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have bones to pick.
Oh, no, we all have bones to pick with that.
So many bones.
So many bones to pick with that. But again, it shows you sort of McKay's viewpoints of his science is the best.
He's very
science.
arrogant.
He is.
Now, by the end of the episode, he does redeem himself. But I imagine this is what we get all the time, this tension.
I will say this. McKay is arrogant. He was always going to be arrogant. However, in ways like Sam, he kind of sometimes is allowed to be that arrogant.
Right. But you know what? Sam doesn't come across as arrogant.
Sarah doesn't. She doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
But it's also almost like if you took the worst of Danielle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the best of Sam as far as her science
and
brain,
then combine
them.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And McKay has this little device he's fiddling with that he found in a research lab, and he's pretty sure he knows what it is with an evil childlike grin.
Yeah.
And we have a fantastic walk and talk with Weir and Grodin.
Yes.
Since many of the systems in the city just need to be activated by someone with the ATA gene, anyone can now use them.
Yeah.
So they've been able to desalinize water enough for the whole, the seawater, enough for everyone to be able to store it, which means thankfully they'll also, I'm assuming, have salt to cook with, because the salt has to go somewhere.
True, yeah.
So interestingly
I would love to know those desal mechanics would be great to be able to send back to Earth eventually.
Yes.
It's like, hey, how do we keep ourselves in clean water? Okay,
since there's that whole water issue coming up.
All the things are happening.
So interestingly enough, 99, well, there's many ways to desalinize water.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really done on large scale very often.
Yeah.
99% of the world relies on fresh water only 1% desalinizes their water for everyday water usage.
Wow. I knew back home there was a desal plant.
Yeah, and they do think that that number is going to dramatically exponentially rise in coming years for reasons.
Now, we did live in the salad bowl of the world, and I have no facts on this, but I think it was all for irrigation purposes.
It wouldn't surprise me because I feel like for irrigation, it wouldn't have to be as
It can be
pure.
gray water. Yeah.
So there's various ways to do it. Either using heat in different methods to boil off water from the salt, and then you collect it afterwards as it cools. The more commercially popular way is using reverse osmosis, which is sort of a really super fancy high-tech version of your Brita filter.
Yep.
Essentially.
Yeah.
It's the same way how if you have a water bottle or some container, you can fill it up with like mud and then dirt and then gravel and rocks and filter lake water to drink yourself
and make it
you need to survive.
Yes. Fun fact, if you buy really cheap vodka and run it through a Brita filter, you can make decent vodka.
You can. There's your life hack.
Yeah.
And then you can use that vodka to make different types of you can make your own vanilla extract or orange, all your different extracts you can use that vodka for.
Yep.
And you can use vodka for, let's just say, a lot of things.
Including drinking.
So the way I'm always going to remember, this is going to take some of you back.
Okay.
I don't know if this was outside the U.S. I think it was also Canada for sure, because I think it was a Canadian program.
Okay.
The way I'll always and forever remember if I'm stuck somewhere near the ocean and I need fresh water is from the Voyage of the Mimi on how to set up a tent thing using sails or whatever have you in order to put the water, you put seawater in the center and they set it up with the sun and it's going to evaporate and then it's going to collect down the sides and trickle down into a reservoir that you create.
Ta-da!
Thank you, Voyage of the Mimi.
Another fun fact, my first science project ever for school was that.
That sounds because
I used glass bowls.
Unlike me, grew up near the ocean.
Yes, I did.
The water
I used all of my mom's kitchen equipment. Sorry.
The water that I grew up didn't. You could just drink it.
I took a big platter, and then in the center of the platter, I put a bowl of salt water.
Yeah.
And then I covered the whole thing with one of her baking dishes. And she's like, "Do you have to use those?" I'm like, "It has to be glass.
It has to be these."
But yes,
I
am forever in a place where we need to desalinate water. I got you.
I mean, I didn't have to desalinate the water. You may have not wanted to always drink it, but it technically was safe to drink most of the time. Okay, so also back to Atlantis. Some of the recreation areas, they need to set some up because the kids are running around everywhere.
Those kids are going to need a jungle gym.
Yeah.
You know what? Seems real simple to me, but water park.
Yeah. Get all the water.
Get some like safe nets to put underneath so they can't go too far.
There you go. Boom. Also get rid of the 10,000-year-old dead plants.
I wonder, like, what does that even look like at that point?
They're just mummified?
Yeah. It's like, do you think they carry anything fun inside?
I don't know.
Like,
you might be able to smoke them.
I don't know. That's not even where I was going, but I like it. Someone's been in Jamaica too long. Got it.
So, John might be taking his time clearing some of the areas of the city, but I mean, safety and security of the expedition is his main job.
What?
And they turn the corner and they see John just pushing McKay off the balcony onto the gate room floor. where it comes up and it's just, what the actual fuck, guys?
What's happening?
And McKay jumps up because he's fine.
Yeah.
Carson's gene therapy worked. And McKay found that the thing he was playing with before is a personal shield with inertial dampening as well. And
so before we get too far, here's my question to you. What would be the first thing you tried if you found a thing that works like that? Like like you're gonna try all the little things first, but what's gonna be your first bold move? Yeah.
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to jump out of second-story windows, but that's because the snowbanks had built up tall enough.
You know what I would do? I would cook with my bare hands.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because I hate utensils and you can never properly grab
That's a
anything.
good one.
I'd be like, baking dish out of oven,
You know,
I got you.
That's actually a thing that sounds like what I would probably do as well.
It just sounds like fun.
That does sound like fun. So he then asks Grodin to hit him, which Grodin immediately does without hesitation. But he punches McKay in the face.
Yeah.
But Grodin's the one that ends up being hurt.
Yeah, I will say you kind of earned that.
You did.
Right in the face.
Right
for it. It wasn't even like a gut punch where it's like, are you ready? Nope. Just
it
boom.
wasn't even like a half. Like it wasn't like Grodin's been waiting to do that.
Yeah,
clearly.
his whole life. He's like, it all comes down to this moment.
So she's like, children, why did you test this by throwing yourself off a balcony? And don't worry, they're not dumb. They tested other things first.
Sure.
And John's like, I shot him.
With the biggest grin I've ever seen.
I mean, in the leg.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought of another thing I would do.
Yeah.
I would roughhouse with the dogs.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because they they play and they roll in the dirt, they throw themselves around like it doesn't hurt. And I'm like, I'm old and human. I would get right in there.
So McKay is like, I'm invulnerable. Regardless of proper scientific procedure, McKay is invulnerable. And she's like, great, just can you take it off? Because we have a meeting.
Yeah. We got things to do, children.
But yeah, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
McKay can't take it off.
It's not going anywhere.
Credits.
I'm stuck right here.
So when we come back, Carson is wrapping Grodin's hands.
Mm-hmm.
They've been coming out with superhero names for McKay. McKay is annoyed at all of this, but I mean, Carson's been working on this for months, so you can't really fault him for celebrating when it worked in the first human trial.
Wouldn't you want to be part of that? I think I'd be excited. I'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
Best names only.
Exactly. But McKay's like, woo, let's have a toast, McKay snarks. Which immediately both Carson and Grodin go, speaking of toast, have you tried eating or drinking with that thing on? And McKay is horrified as a cup of coffee just rolls off of him.
Which is appropriate.
Yeah.
Appropriate.
I'm assuming McKay just doesn't stop ever drinking coffee.
The way his personality works, there's no way he's ever not had caffeine just coursing through.
Very similar to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I basically could drink coffee 24/7.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. So now it might be serious. McKay can live 3 to 4 days without water, but McKay figures he'll be dead by then without food.
Yeah. The drama. Oh, the drama.
Yeah. Just to clarify, you can live a hell of a lot longer without food.
A couple weeks, right? You can really make it a few weeks if you needed to.
The number's 10 days for some reason sticks in my head.
Okay. And water's the one that it's like after a couple, 2-3 days, you're kind of done
3-4 days according to Carson.
Yes.
So McKay tries to concentrate. Since some ancient tech needs mental focus, maybe he can just turn it off with his brain and it doesn't work. So he says he's a dead man now.
He's so eager. He's so eager to have the worst things.
Well, again, that fits with his personality.
Yeah. Yeah. It does.
Woe is me is a little bit of McKay.
Yeah. McKay needs to learn the saying, pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional.
I don't think he's going to learn that very well.
No, probably not.
So in the conference room, John has a portion of the city lit up on a screen. They can maintain security in this area with the people that they have. Mm-hmm. Teyla tries offering some Athosian help, and Weir really quickly, politely turns that down.
Yeah, I was a little taken aback by this. I understand the way the story's moving and the why. But I was just like, oh, you're our diplomat.
Yes.
You're the one who would be all about inclusion.
Yes.
And yet, here we are.
And she goes, it's not out of distrust. John tries to reassure Teyla that it's just because you're not up and trained in our tactics.
I feel like if I were to be like, is it though?
Well, I mean, listen, John is trying real hard to be the peacemaker here.
Yeah.
Because you can tell John trusts Teyla and all the Athosians.
Yeah. Yeah.
Space isn't an issue yet, thankfully. And Teyla points out that even though her people have always lived in fear of the Wraith, the place is a different kind of fear to them. Some of her people think that this place is haunted by the ghost of their ancestors.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, when you are there is some, and I'm blanking, there is some name for a culture that sort of, the reverence of your ancestors is your main sort of
I mean, I think it's a lot
spiritual
of
belief.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of, but I'm saying is I'm blanking. There's a name for that type of society, and I'm blanking on the name of it. But yeah, if you're a society that reveres your ancestors and the ancients are your ancestors,
this is almost a form of disrespect.
Exactly.
Yeah, fair.
And it's going to take them some time to clear the whole city. They're being very cautious intergalactic travelers, and they don't want anyone else to get hurt. They do mention that Halling is now hurt. We never find out why or how Halling got hurt.
Reasons.
And to not touch anything until it's been cleared, McKay raises a hand and basically points to himself.
Yeah.
Dead man talking.
Again, let's make this about me a little bit more.
Uh-huh. He's good at that. So Weir comes to visit Carson.
We do get one of my favorite lines here is the cautious intergalactic explorers. Yeah. I feel like that needs to be the name of a D&D group.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
when we make a space themed one, that's for sure.
There's one called Space Jammer. I believe that's what it's called, which eventually will happen.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be our group name. Cautious Intergalactic Explorers.
No, I definitely, and whenever the first space themed D&D, that's the group name.
Or Wind Jammer or Space Jammer, or I apologize, those of you who
gotta
are yelling.
Get up, it's time to jam now. We got our ram bands going down, welcome to the Space Jam. Keep your chains, do your dance.
I'm gonna send a cryptic text.
All right.
Note to boyfriend Jesse, and hopefully he gets back to me before the end of the episode.
Okay, so Weir visits Carson. She's a theory. But eventually the shield device is going to shut itself off. We know that ancient tech has a mental component to it. And it's not like Rodney might be maybe unconsciously not shutting it down because he wants the attention. But I mean, this place is intimidating. It's a little scary. Everything is beyond us. And Weir is pretty confident he's not doing it on purpose. But I mean, the city rose itself out of the water. Ancient technology is going to, like, kill you. There's going to be fail-safes built into it.
Sure.
So...
Yeah. I mean, if there's anyone I would suspect that of, absolutely, it's Mr. Rodney McKay.
Exactly.
But the other thing, it just seems interesting to me how quickly she goes to these mistrusting places.
Well, and
to me, and I don't think it's written this way, but in a nice deep read, it's fun to be like, why is she so quick to turn?
Yes. And I don't know if this is necessarily a mistrust of Rodney as much if it's this man's a little just not in touch with his... all sides of him. Yeah. And I think it's more of, let's not be too worried about him this early.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a little bit of this episode is weird. Maybe it's a reminder to herself of like all the worst things possible in people.
Yeah.
But I mean, interesting approach, and maybe that is what you do. Maybe that is the safest, most cautious way to intergalactically explore.
There you go. I just know that someone needs to get in touch with some other emotions that are inside of him.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's true. Spelljammer.
What?
Spelljammer.
Spelljammer
is the name of the sci-fi D&D.
It's gonna get up. It's time to spell. Yeah, we got a reaction going down. Welcome to the Spell Jam. Okay, so in the control room, Grodin is showing them off all the brand new fancy self-destruct system. 2 codes given to the command staff. I'm guessing looking is in the room, but I'm also going, wouldn't Carson be a member of the command staff? He's the chief medical officer.
Again, they just don't know what he might do with all his crazy power. I mean, he's got mouse vaccines happening.
And the NAC would generate overload in 30 seconds. Big bada boom. Multipass. If they enter 2 multipasses,
then they're done.
Then big bada boom. 30 seconds.
Done.
So
I haven't watched that movie in a while.
I haven't either, but I love that movie so much.
think it was so long ago and I was so drunk that I don't know that I remember it all. Like I could watch it and it would be brand new story.
Oh my gosh. When I say I haven't seen it in a while, I mean it's maybe been 2 years. I love that movie so much. So Atlantis is the only Stargate in the whole Pegasus galaxy that can dial to Earth. So they absolutely, positively cannot let it fall into the hands of the Wraith.
Sure, because the last thing we need is to deal with Gold and Wraith all at once.
That would be the worst. So
it's like Alien versus Predator, only worse.
Worse. So Ford asks if the explosion will do enough damage to the city. And McKay's like, have you ever seen a 20 kiloton nuclear explosion? John's like, I have. And everyone's like,
I know that.
Record scratch.
And he's like, what? Like it's weird? Yeah.
I mean, not up close.
Yeah. Clearly, yeah.
So just to give you size context for what a 20 kiloton nuclear explosion is.
Yes.
That's basically the size of Fat Man that was dropped in Nagasaki.
Got it.
So probably will do some damage to the city.
Slightly smaller than the stuff that they were trying to work on afterwards. I knew this. I knew this last week, the difference between fusion and fission.
Yeah. There's been larger. I think if I remember correctly, the largest that's ever been tested is 50.
Okay.
Is the largest that's ever been tested. But yeah, it'll do some damage.
Oddly enough, I learned about these things in my history of rock and roll class.
Well, I'm pretty sure they talk about it in that one song that We Didn't Start the Fire.
Yeah. Because at my school, even the fun classes require you to learn a lot of things.
There you go. I mean, just let me know when you start having to learn all the lyrics to We Didn't Start the Fire.
No, I wish it were that simple. No, it's like, tell me what socioeconomical, technological, and political factors led to the inception of rock and roll.
So
that is what my class is like.
To be fair, that kind of sounds fun. But that sounds like I had a book that I still have. Not that I got rid of it, but it's called Art and Physics.
Nice.
And it actually is along sort of the same ways, but it's talking about how the history of art and history of physics actually sort of went along with each other at the same time, and how a lot of Einstein's theories sort of like coupled with Picasso and Cubism, and how they actually sort of,
because this whole world is
everything's
patterns.
Connected. It's the circle of life. It's the wheel of art. Okay,
done.
So John just wants to know why Teyla's not here in this whole like super important, self-destruct talk. She's part of the team. He trusts her. And Weird does too. Weird trusts Teyla, just not necessarily all of her people yet.
Sure. That's fair. That's very fair.
It's a very distinct distinction.
It's a distinct distinction. I like it.
So they
keep drinking that ginger wine.
They still don't know if it was one of the Athosians that tipped off their arrival to the Wraith.
Fair.
And Weird just really wants to get to know them before she's all trusting of them.
Yeah.
So now we get a really fun scene. John telling the Athosian children Friday the 13th as a ghost story. But they are more obsessed with what a hockey mask is. And learning about hockey because these kids get hunted by actual fucking monsters.
Now, which story would you tell? You're like, I get to claim any story I want. I feel like I have an idea, but I'm going to let you tell me.
If I'm going for ghost stories?
Well, or just anything. But yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, if I'm just going to tell them a story? As if my own?
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be Lord of the Rings.
Yes, what I figured.
It's going to
now, if you are going full-on ghost story.
I'm going to full-on ghost story. So here's the thing. I'm not a huge horror fan. So I don't know. I mean, Friday the 13th is always a solid choice. Yeah. If you're talking people who hasn't, to me, it's what he's going to tell next time. Nightmare on Elm Street has always been scarier to me than Friday the 13th.
I'm all about Halloween.
Okay. See, Halloween's the one that I don't know as well.
And that, kids, is why you don't have sex. That's how you end that story.
That kind of works for Friday the 13th as well.
No, it's going to like Tales from the Crypt.
I
Afraid
know,
of the Dark.
but I don't remember.
Or
Or
you
Well,
could go with like a good Twilight Zone one.
Twilight Zone's
Time Enough at Last.
Yes.
broken glasses, dude. My only saving grace is that I can read up close. I'm nearsighted,
Yeah.
so if my glasses break, I can still read.
I'm gonna go with the Tales
Meadows
that
Hands of Fate.
Meadows Hands of Fate.
No, that's only
just
scary if
awful.
you have to watch it.
I'm gonna go with one of the stories that has haunted me since I was about 3 years old.
Okay.
La Llorona. Straight up La Llorona. That bitch is trouble.
Oh, actually, if I can remember.
And
enough of
actually,
it,
that one would be really, it's a good utility story because it'd be like, and that kid's why we don't wander off
yeah.
when people tell us not to fucking wander.
You know what always traumatized me as a kid?
Hmm.
Brave Little Toaster.
Oh, that just made me sad.
I know. But again, these kids are hunted by actual monsters.
Yeah.
They give no shits.
Yeah, they're like, I ain't scared of anything.
You know,
Come
if-
at me, Hereditary.
if-
I didn't even scare it.
If I had seen it enough times, it could be an ongoing thing. You could just tell them supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could just, you'd be like Sherazade in 1,000 Tales.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would go gather around, children. Let me tell you about the story of a magic ring. But they're more interested in hockey here.
Hmm.
And I am clearly not on John's side, where he's like, well, I'll tell you about football because it's better than hockey.
You know, I'm really upset that they went with football.
Well, here's the thing. He's a California boy.
Right, which is why he would go baseball.
This is true. Okay, I'll give you that. I will give you that.
Yep.
I would like to just be a fly on the wall.
Uh-huh.
And
Or even basketball, but
I would like to be a fly on the wall
uh-huh.
when Jack and John are sitting down having a beer,
Arguing.
debating football versus hockey.
I think they would probably both settle on rugby.
They probably would. I can
A little of both.
imagine that John was a football player. He's probably a kicker or punter, I can assume.
Yeah, he's not so big.
He's
but
not so
yeah.
big. I don't think he was even quarterback.
Uh-huh.
But I can see him being a punter.
I
or
think
kicker.
he would have been a lovely baseball player.
You think
He
everyone
looks
would
like
be
a good shortstop.
You
I'm
think-
going to actually think about that for a little while.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
I'm going to go third baseman.
Yeah.
Just because
Third base is good.
I like third base.
Yeah.
That's where I was when I got good enough to get out of the outfield.
Well, he seems nimble.
He does.
And then your shortstop's got to be pretty nimble.
They always just stuck me at third because I could chuck the ball over to
Yeah,
first
here
base.
you go. You have a strong arm.
Okay. Catching is here or there, so we'll stick you over the side that the ball doesn't get to as much.
See, yeah, I was always a catcher, so here you are, mastermind.
Yeah.
You're
No.
more of a mind player than a body player. Here, go play catcher.
Yeah. No, I hated catcher.
It is a lot of thinking.
I just hated squatting with the mask.
Oh,
It was
what's that?
hot. That was my main thing. Okay, so Teyla calls bedtime, and John promises to tell him about the Nightmare on Elm Street next. Which, to me, again, you could make a connection with Nightmare on Elm Street when the Wraith, and I think it'd be
Yes.
actually much scarier to them.
Yeah. Come on, John, get it together.
Again, nightmares are always scarier.
Mm-hmm.
So he does hope he didn't scare them too bad, and yeah, I
You
I
probably didn't.
think
Yeah.
they're fine.
Yeah.
In the hallway later, John is like, yeah, just can you do me a favor and not tell McKay that whole thing I went on about how hockey is not a real man's sport because it's Canadian and it's like a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, as long as you're not insulting curling, everything is fine. But also, John, that's also an American thing, and they're fighting words, and I'll meet you out back.
Oh.
Let me show you when a hockey game. Okay, so Teyla's
Just fine, but not the face. Just not the face.
So Teyla is actually interested in hearing about this football thing, and John's like, "Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah. Oh.
Come with me." So as Holling puts Jinto to bed,
Yeah.
he's like, "Are we safe from the Wraith here?"
Mm.
And Holling's like, "The only thing that is certain in life is my love for you."
Oh.
First of all, it's a very good line.
Yeah.
It's very sweet. Second of all, that is A+ dad work about getting out of answering a question that you don't
Uh-huh.
want to answer.
Yep.
Now
Here's
go to
the-
sleep, Jinto.
Distract. For 100, please.
Jinto also thinks that the ghosts of the ancestors are here. Then we get the most adorable team bonding.
Uh-huh.
And I love that this is a great team bonding that's happening so early in the series.
Yeah.
Teyla, John, Ford, and McKay watch a football game. It is the infamous Hail Flutie, the Miracle in Miami, Boston College versus University of Miami, November of 1984, which is one of the most infamous moments in sports history.
Bum, bum, bum.
Doug Flutie's last-second Hail Mary to get Boston College the win. He went on to win the Heisman.
He did.
He went on to play as Canada, as Ford points out. And I love how Taylor's like, oh, so he played hockey too.
He went on to make Flutie Flakes.
He did make Flutie Flakes. And watching John try to explain to Teyla why the catch is legendary,
Yeah.
like it's a poem, and it's a prayer, and it's the thing, and it's
Yeah,
good.
let's go way back. I do think Teyla is me, and this is like, why is this important?
exactly.
Teyla is me watching football. It's like, cool, I want to care, but I don't.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I want to. You
Why-
seem to very much enjoy this.
Why is everyone just running into each other?
Yeah, you know what it is about football? I'm going to go on my rant.
Yes, go on your rant.
It's not even just that they just run into each other.
No.
It is the and mind you, I know that this is coming from a baseball fan.
You
so,
are a
so
baseball
come
fan.
back to it.
Okay.
We'll come back to this. The amount of waiting around is ridiculous.
It's insane.
I understand that baseball games are long.
Yeah.
But something is happening.
Yeah.
Even if it's not happening everywhere.
I mean, they're not cricket games.
Right. Right. So even if it's not happening everywhere, something's happening. There's so much stopping and starting in football.
There is.
It feels like when you're playing with the kid who's constantly changing the rules as you go.
It feels like the last 2 minutes of a basketball game.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But all the time.
But all the time.
I don't think that was always the case.
Which is why the greatest thing that's ever happened to
Are you talking
football.
about just watching the Patriots?
You probably, yeah. Zing. As husband bartender Nick points
He's
out.
literally at headphones watching The Punisher and just vocalizing in at different points.
Yeah.
For the win.
No, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to football
Uh-huh.
is ESPN Red Zone.
Okay.
Is the greatest thing that ever happened to football.
Yeah.
For someone who has no patience
Yeah.
or what's the thing where I lose interest in quick amounts of time?
Attention span?
And no attention span? Red Zone's the greatest because all you do is see the scoring and there's no commercials.
Yeah.
Done.
So can someone just edit the game down to the 5 minutes
That's
it's actually
basically
playing?
that's basically what Red Zone does. That's basically which is why again, hockey, yo.
Yo.
Hockey. You gotta pay attention to
I
that
will
shit.
give it to basketball and hockey. For the most part, there's it's just always moving.
It's always moving. Go, go, go.
Let's do this. Okay.
Okay. So Weir comes in to this scene
Mhm.
and teaching Teyla how football is the cornerstone of Western civilization again,
Yeah.
dude.
Nah.
So, and one
It's not even the cornerstone of American culture.
no,
Okay, I'm done.
no. That's clearly I'm trying to come up with some witty thing that would be, and it's not coming.
It's
to me right now.
baseball. I'm
It's
back.
baseball.
It's baseball. It's
Listen.
basketball.
One of the greatest films that's ever been made that will listen, the person who can't be in tears very often,
Uh-huh.
guaranteed to put me in tears every single time. Do you want to play a game of catch?
Oh.
If you build it, they will come.
I thought you were gonna say League of Their Own, but I'll take that one too.
League of Their Own is good. League of Their Own is fantastic, but Field of Dreams is like emotional catnip.
Fair. Fair.
So anyway, wondering why John, if he's like one personal item,
Uh-huh.
is choosing a college football game on tape. But to John, it's a metaphor. That this expedition is the greatest Hail Mary in human history.
Yeah. He is a romantic, isn't he?
He is a little bit of a romantic. And John, this is where John actually tries to explain Hail Mary to Teyla.
Yeah.
And he just ends with, I like Ferris wheels.
Also, I think you're pretty. Is basically what he's doing there.
Your party. Yeah, I love this adorable team bonding that we get in like the second episode.
Mhm.
So Jinto then goes in, sneaking out after hours,
I do love this game.
getting Wex playing Wraith, and Jinto this time wants to be Major Sheppard.
Of course he does.
And Jinto counts as Wex hides, but like sees where he's going. Because he's just a little bit of a cheater. So Jinto hunts down his wraith. He starts hearing some sounds around him. And he heads into a closet with a bunch of storage boxes. And everything around him is quiet. And we come to Wex, who just is like, dude, are you even looking for me anymore? Like, I'm not that good of a hider. I'm kind of shit at this game.
Yeah. I kind of didn't want to play anyway, so I purposely made myself easy to find. It's like when you're playing with a little kid and you're like, oh, you found me. I guess we're done. Bye.
Go find your mom. So Holly knocks on John's door because Jinto is missing. And John grabs his gear and goes running. And
let's take a moment
to
sit in John's room. I know there's an emergency.
Yeah, there is.
I know there's a missing child. I know that I don't have my notes, but I wrote this in all caps.
Did you not notice that thing on his wall?
I did not actually. I didn't even get that far. I just noticed how cozy he looked. Reading, sitting on that twin bed.
I'm now forgetting if he already has his poster up in the. Nope, I don't think that poster's up there. Never mind.
Nope, no. I was just.
There's a thing that
we don't often get to see bedrooms.
No,
unless they're in a comical way, like Daniel's diagonal bed. But just watching him sitting there reading, was like, I'm just gonna go for it. The sexiest thing ever.
I was
like, you got room for two in that twin bed?
So I'm gonna tell you what it is. I will tell you that there is later something in his room hanging on a wall that may just push that overboard for you. But I'm not gonna say what.
Can't handle it.
Because the moment you'll see it, trust me, you'll notice.
Got it. Got it. I'm ready.
So John, knowing there can be dangers in the city, takes this full on seriously. And he wakes up Ford, teams of two floor by floor sweep, starting with the jumper bay full gear, and Ford is up and awake.
Yeah.
After that.
He's ready to go.
To be fair, Ford is young enough that he can fully wake up in about 5 seconds.
And I mean, that's kind of the soldier way,
it's a soldier way.
It's like you're always ready to go.
But he also looks like he's about 22.
Yeah, that's fair. He's a puppy. He's the puppy in our house who the second he is out of that crate is like, let's go.
He could have been drinking all night and he's still gonna wake up like in about 5 seconds of the night. So Teyla reports that he's not with any of the other Athosians. Holly wants to go with John even on crutches because that is his son.
I can't blame that.
Papa Bear. Don't fuck with Papa Bear.
Yeah. I got a boy to protect.
Yeah.
It's the only thing left.
So in the control room, they can't use the sensors because A, they don't have enough power to search the city at once, and B, they can't really pinpoint Jinto from anyone else. And I'm like, maybe he's the one that's not near anyone else?
There you go. There you go. One of these things is not like the other. Way to think that one through, Nixie.
So the power is flickering, and they're getting some weird energy signals from an unexplored area of the city. Maybe go search the weird unexplored area of the city.
Let's think about that one a little bit harder.
Guys. Okay, so Weir tries calling over the radio, and they lose all power except for the lights. I get that other shit happens that they can't go search that area, but maybe go search that area when you get a chance.
Yeah, the first thing, you should be on your list of priorities.
Yeah, Grodin doesn't know why the power is flickering, and then the iris just like opens, like turns on its own, and then the Stargate starts dialing on its own. And we know we've only been here a few days. Maybe shit's malfunctioning. Yeah. Or maybe there's ghosts.
Yeah. I'm going to go with ghosts.
Ghosts.
I'm going to ghost it up.
It's old man Roger. It's old man Roger in a mask, the proprietor of the hotel. So John radios that the lights went out where he is. Weir's like, I know. And they're working on it.
Yeah.
Maybe there are ghosts since John and Holling are seen.
In my pants.
There's ghosts in my pants.
But I don't know why that worked. But
John and Holling through a weird POV. Can I just say, very similar to the last episode of SG1 with Anubis.
Oh, right.
These aired on the same night.
They're like, hey, look, we found this new plugin in After Effects. I bet we could use it to make bad guys. What do you all think about these bad guy smoky things? Can y'all write this?
We found a bad guy plugin.
Yeah. Use the bad guy plugin. I'm going to start saying that at work. Or just, use the bad guy plugin.
And you're just doing headshots?
Yep.
It's the bad guy plugin.
Yep. Ta-da, done.
Cut them out with the bad guy plugin.
But yeah, the genius writers are like, yeah, we got this.
Yeah, we got
We'll write to that.
You want us to base an entire episode around plugin? Got it, no problem.
Got it. Super, totally okay thing that we'll do.
So McKay is thinking the power fluctuations could be something to do with the patch they basically have between Earth technology and city technology and like square plug round hole.
Yeah.
They had to do that in Apollo 13.
And there's not enough duct tape.
There's not enough duct tape. To be fair, they did use duct tape.
That's why.
That
Yeah.
one. I knew you knew that.
I know some
You're all
things.
smart. Also,
I only know something.
because I believe I've already brought that up to you about 4 different times.
Yeah, and I do love me some Tom Hanks movies.
Oh, I love Tom Hanks. Okay, so
He's my birthday buddy.
That's right.
Our birthdays are the same day.
I have Mark Hamill
That's a pretty good one too.
and Will Smith.
Nice. I'll take them.
Yeah,
We're both meant to be famous. That's what that means.
that's clearly.
Yep.
So Weir would never like have thought McKay believed in goats. And McKay's like, yeah, I wouldn't have either. But then I learned about a thing called the wraith that sucks the life out of you through a vagina on their hands.
Literally a fucking ghost.
Like,
As
what
far
the
as I'm
fuck is that?
concerned. Yeah.
And Teyla calls for Weir and introduces her to a young woman named Marta. She's really nervous.
Mhm.
She saw a shadow, like the type that the wraith project. And Teyla doesn't sense any wraith here. When Weir calls John, this is actually the part that I have the most problems with Weir this entire episode.
Okay.
When Weir calls John, she tells him that one of the Athosians claims to have seen a shadow. And Weir senses that no wraith, but she's still concerned. And Marta notices that Weir uses the word claimed.
Yeah.
And Weir doesn't, she can tell Weir doesn't necessarily believe her, that she's just seeing things.
Right.
And has this whole other subtext that we could go into about believing people when they say something happened, but we're going to leave it at that.
Uh-huh.
10-foot pole.
It is a tough one to say because it's like using the word alleged.
It is, because here's the thing. Either way, regardless of what it is, Marta saw a shadow.
Yes.
The problem is, it's like the thing about it's a UFO. Anything could be a UFO. If the person seeing it can't identify it, it's a UFO.
Yep. Yep. That's what literally UFO means. Unidentifiable.
Doesn't mean alien. It means unidentified flying object. Marta saw a shadow.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's from.
She didn't say I saw wraith.
Yeah.
She didn't say I saw a ghost.
I saw a shadow.
I saw a shadow, which is a legitimate thing that she saw.
It reminds her of the stuff that the wraith project, because that's her only context for it.
And there is an appropriate place to. There are some places where it's important to use the word alleged.
Yes.
There are some places where it's not.
This is not a place.
You don't need that.
No,
You're just giving information to John.
Marta saw a shadow.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. Simple as that.
That shadow could have been a weird thing with the lights.
Yep.
Doesn't mean she didn't see a shadow.
Yep.
Okay.
It's important that this is not the place where you need to use the words like alleged or
exactly.
Or it's just this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
This is the fact. This is what
this
happened.
is the fact, Jack.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom. Okay, so John calls all the teams back to the gate room. Holling's like, no, son look for.
Yeah. Remember that time my son's missing, motherfuckers?
John's like, look, if there's a threat here, we're gonna have to approach things differently.
Mm.
And we see the other POV again. The bad guy plugin.
Yeah. Bad guy plugin time.
So in the control room, John has controlled access to the areas. He has security teams out. 2 more Athosians have seen shadows, and John is pretty sure the wraith aren't here. Like, because they wouldn't just sit around lurking in the shadows, scaring them. They would just come out and blast them and take them and eat them.
Right. The wraith aren't sitting there. They're not here to play games.
No.
They're just here to eat.
Exactly. We're not here for a good time. We're just here for a food time. So the Athosians are just seeing things, where it's like, it's a scary place.
I
but
made you a penis.
We're gonna hold this up to the camera.
I apologize, guys. Grace got a little.
We have little
nervous and distracted.
So what happened here, for those who can't see, is we have those little tiny magnetic balls that they have banned from selling because children are dumb. And we have the really little tiny ones, and they sit here on the desk as like fidget things.
And I have a hard time saying no to them.
Yeah, well, they're hard to say no to.
They're like,
fun.
Play with me.
We have like 3 packs altogether. So okay, so
and I made a penis. All done.
So Halling gets permission to speak over the intercom to Jinto, telling him that no one's angry. We just want you safe. Just want you home. Please make noise. Someone will come get you. And then he starts praying an ancient, a prayer to the ancestors, Father of Light of the Everlasting Temple, telling the ancients and the ancestors that they will leave their city if that's what they want, but he will not leave without a son.
Yeah. I do love the it's very good writing. It just the way John goes, is that Latin?
Yeah.
Because everything that John would know or understand of anything God related would be Latin.
Well,
and it just seems like a little throwaway line, but it's very well done.
It's very well done because
he wouldn't immediately go, is that ancient?
No, but it's also, I have a hunch that John knows some Latin.
Right. But even if that's what I mean, though, even if he didn't, even if there's no knowledge, your first place as an American human from Earth.
Yeah.
If you hear prayer, you're going to go, is that Latin?
Yeah.
Because that's the first thing we know.
Yeah, especially because you know it's not a commonly today spoken language.
Right. And he's a wide angle. He's not going, is that Aramaic? No, he's like, is that Latin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I just get the feeling that John probably had to learn some Latin.
I know some words. Yeah. Carpe diem, motherfuckers.
And then the lights go out and McKay collapses. Sorry, McKay faints.
Yeah.
At least according to Carson, he fainted. Yeah. According to McKay, he passed out from manly hunger.
Oh, yes.
John heads out from the infirmary telling Weir that McKay's going to be okay. He just fainted.
He just, I need some smelling salts. His corset was a little too tight.
So as he gets into the hallway, all the lights go out again. And it gets super creepy.
Would you say that the lights went out in the city?
The lights go out in the city.
And the sun shines on Atlantis.
I wanna be there.
What if that song was written about Atlantis?
Maybe it was.
What if San Francisco is Atlantis, but it hasn't sunk yet, and it's gonna sink?
Maybe it just was risen up again because it sensed that the people in the city were in danger, and so it rose back up out of the ocean, and that's what one of the earthquakes in California was back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like it. That's what happened. We're done. Bye.
San Francisco is Atlantis.
Ta-da! Okay. I don't know if you can understand how that would be all of my wildest dreams come true.
I mean, you certainly don't love the city or anything with all your dying hearts.
Not even a tiniest bit of all of the love in my heart.
That would be amazing.
Okay.
So we see another the bad guy filter again. John points his gun at it, and it really is just a shadow. It's darkness going through the corridor. Yeah. And once it passes, the lights come back on. Grodin saw it too. It's pulling around the Nakwita generator. So back up in the control room, John confirms that it's not a wraith shadow, but it's easy to see how I was confused with one.
Right.
It just looks like darkness.
I'm not a wraith. I just look like one.
I'm just drawn that way.
Yeah.
And it grew around, like swarmed around the generator, like it was feeding off of it. And once it turned off,
it is also hungry, much like McKay.
It's basically the Hexus, guys.
Yeah, oh my God! In the notes that I no longer have,
I wrote the Hexus. Yeah, it's literally just the Hexus.
Yeah, I'm still really pumped about my notes.
We talked about Ferngully last time or before, but this is legit.
Maybe we're due for a rewatch of Ferngully. Maybe that's what the universe is telling us.
I love Batty.
I mean, it's Robin Williams, right?
It is.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with Batty.
Kind of love Ferngully. Talk about that would be a horror story to tell the Athosian kids
about the machines
that destroy all the nature.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I do like it.
Eats the stars and shit.
Done.
You can add that in. You can flow overhead. It'll eat the stars away.
Yeah,
sure. Okay, so McKay, who has an unopened power bar in his hand. So the darkness feeds off energy. It could be very bad. I mean, for all of you, because I won't be here.
Dead man walking.
That's the AKA. The AKA is just dead man walking.
Yeah, I like it.
So they can't just shut down the generators since humans also give off energy. Negligible, but if there's no other alternatives around.
Uh-huh.
So flying.
It's like, you know, when you've got nothing left in the kitchen as far as good snacks.
Yeah.
And you've got some like carrots in there and you're like, I guess I'll fucking eat some carrots.
They're not going to satisfy me. I just want to crunch something that
Yeah.
badly.
Yeah.
To me, that's apples. Apples always make me hungrier.
Oh, interesting. Peanut butter.
I do. Oh, dude, if you give me a spoon, I will eat the entire container of peanut butter. But no, apples, whenever I eat an apple, I'm more hungry by the end of the apple than I was when I started.
Well, that's what I mean. That's when I add the peanut butter to the
Oh, it's
apple.
just a delivery service for the peanut butter.
Yep.
That works.
Yeah.
So, Flying Darkness that can eat energy can only be very
Flying Darkness is the name of our new band.
Flying Darkness.
Flying. You know what? It's the name of our new team. Our softball team.
Yeah, it's our softball team. If it was a band, it would be much like Blind Guardian and just do like fantasy themed dark metal.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. So instead of keeping the generators on all of them, Grodin's going to figure out how to detect it. And then when it goes near one generator, they'll turn that one off.
Yep.
And then they'll go to the next and they'll just lead it in a circle and be busy.
Yep.
So Weir starts calling out to the city over the intercom. And then they hear Jinto over the intercom.
Oh, Jinto.
He doesn't know where he is, but he's scared. And John gets him to help them retrace his steps. So they retrace him outside of Jinto's room. They try following him. But without the stars, Jinto doesn't know right from left, I guess.
I'll cover this when we get... Well, no, I'm going to cover it now.
Okay.
I get that he's lost and he's somewhere different. He's not somewhere scary.
He's not somewhere scary.
I feel like scared is the wrong word. Like he's like, yeah, dude, I'm lost as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like getting lost in the toy store. You're not so much scared. You're just like, where the fuck am I?
I mean, he may be hearing some weird noises and he thinks there's a shadow
he
around.
May have seen the shadow. That's true.
Yeah. But again,
it takes me a second to be like, really?
My thing is like, oh, he doesn't know which way he went because he can't see the stars. You don't know right from left. I mean, granted, I get confused right and left sometimes, but I just have to think about it for a second.
That's true.
Did you turn right or left to go straight?
Do you remember anywhere you went?
You don't need stars for
that. Yeah.
But he went into a small room with earth boxes. Mm-hmm. And they head to that room, but there's no boxes there. Jinto's like, well, no, all the boxes are with me now.
Did I forget to mention this very important fact?
It's not a closet. So the panel lights up, and it lit up with Jinto in two. And of course, yeah, he touched it.
Of course he did.
And of course. And,
I mean, I probably would have touched it, too.
I would have completely touched it.
I'd be like, what's this?
And McKay's like, well, here in this part it sees where all those unusual readings are that we didn't go to visit yet.
Uh-huh.
And so John goes ahead and touches.
Remember that time we should have gone here because Nixie told us we should have gone here and nobody did? That's probably where he is.
And the doors close and open again elsewhere because it's not a closet, it's a transporter.
Good job.
Better than an elevator.
Yes.
So back with everyone else, the boxes are back, but no Jinto because he's hiding in the lab where John and McKay now are. So he does radio and we have him. Everyone's safe.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say that all this traveling reminds me of how fucking beautiful this set is.
It's gorgeous.
It really is the best set.
It's like and I love Art Deco as well. So this is basically just
that's what
candy.
I mean. It's just like everything I've ever wanted my house to look like is this set.
I'm going to live in Atlantis.
In fact, can I just get the set decorators to come to my house? That would be awesome.
I'm going to live in the set. So in the control room, Grodin shows off his fancy like generator chase setup. He has it's very much like a Mousetrap, the board game.
Yeah, it's like a Rube Goldberg machine of fucking generators.
He has it going in circles, and Weir's like, I really hope we're not making it mad.
Yeah. I mean, do you though? At this point, what else can you do other than piss it off or kill it?
I mean, it's probably already pissed, as we'll find out later. So Grodin reroutes Ford and Stackhouse because it's coming their way. But the door they're heading towards slams shuts and they can't get out. McKay, they're here, everything's over the intercom. So McKay assumes it was just sort of random malfunction since the darkness is fucking with energy. It may be messing with systems. So Ford and Stackhouse double back and that door shut too. And the darkness is coming.
The darkness is it's so emo. The darkness is coming.
And darkness is coming and it's going to paint my soul black. I'm going to live in black. The world is lacking
As I
colors.
listen to Joy Division.
The world is lacking colors. The rain is melting the blah, blah, blah. Okay, so in a rush, McKay tries to explain to Ford over the radio how to hotwire the door open. Eventually, they're able to do it. At the last second, Stackhouse goes through. Ford starts screaming, and you can hear it over all the intercoms.
Yowza, bad times are happening.
The darkness quickly passes, and Ford is down unconscious. You can tell a little burnt.
Yeah.
Looks like he has a little frostbite in his cheeks.
It's not okay. It's
not
kind of
good.
shitty. Yeah.
But don't worry. Carson tells us he's going to be just fine. It's like he was hit by lightning. He's a tough kid. He's young. He'll be good.
Mhm.
And John does have to reinforce to Stackhouse that there's nothing you could have done. It happened. Move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So back down in the lab, Jinto didn't touch anything of consequence except the containment unit that let out the shadow.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do anything except possibly destroy all of our lives and threaten our entire existence. That's it.
The unit has its own power source for it. It was a containment unit. And the ancients captured it for observation into their own research into ascension.
What? Why wasn't that rule number 1? Rule number 1, don't touch anything.
It was rule number 1.
Apparently not for the Athosians.
Jinto's just a snotty-nosed Brett kid.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, he was playing Sheppard.
He was playing
Who Sheppard would. I feel like that would be my defense.
He was channeling Sheppard a little too much.
That would be my defense. Look, I went method in my play acting time.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, Sheppard would have touched all that shit.
Sheppard would have touched all of it. So conveniently,
in fact, the reason we're here is because he sat down in a fucking chair.
Yeah. So conveniently, John hasn't heard of Ascension. So for all of you viewers who didn't watch SG1 or brand new to Atlantis, McKay's going to explain it to you in a sentence.
Yeah.
But new to us is the fact that this indicates that there may have been like gene therapy of their own in order to get to Ascension. It wasn't a natural evolutionary process.
Right.
So again, like the Hexus, the more it feeds, the bigger and deadlier it gets.
Which still again surprises me that Daniel has no genes. No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, it doesn't necessarily say the smarter you are, the more likely you are to have the gene.
No, but at this point, he has to send it. Like, through
Oh,
all the
yeah.
things he's experienced, somehow he may have, like, I feel like, how is he not genetically mutated into that?
True. But it's a question of, is Ascension going to genetically mutate you or not?
That's fair. That's fair. I just feel like.
I mean, he didn't become an ancient just because he ascended.
True. Yeah. It's almost like he's ancient adjacent.
He is.
At this point. Yeah.
He's like an adopted ancient.
Yeah.
He's been welcomed.
Yeah. Into the family.
Into the family.
Whether or not there's matching DNA.
Exactly. So the Hexus is sentient, but you'd have more luck having a conversation with a great white shark, honestly. And it's pissed.
Yeah.
And it's hungry because it's been trapped for 10,000 years in this containment unit. But Kate is pretty sure he can get it back in there. So Teyla brings Jinto to see Ford in the infirmary. And he wants to apologize, but Ford is like, look, we have a saying on Earth. Shit happens. It's not what he says, but
yeah. Can we not say shit on TV?
Here's the thing. Here's what I don't.
No, it's one of the 7, isn't it?
Unless you're South Park.
Oh, okay.
But also, I mean, technically they're on cable. Technically they could say shit.
Okay.
Here's what I don't know. Is it technically because they don't want to say shit on the Sci-Fi Channel? Or is it,
kid.
Are they playing it off because it's Ford talking to a kid?
I'll buy that.
And to him, again, the difference between Ford and I would just say shit, and then 5 minutes later going, should I have said that to someone that
probably
age?
should not have said that to a child. Yeah.
Whereas
Fair.
Ford, probably, I'm guessing Ford's more used to young children.
Understands that children are a thing that exists.
Listen, shit happens.
Yeah.
And look, the kid should learn curse words at some point.
Yeah.
At least Earth ones.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, and the
not as
Earth ones
bad.
are not as bad.
Listen, I was learning. I enjoyed learning curse words in other languages because then you could say them, and then you wouldn't get in trouble with
I
people.
still know how to say some very terrible ones that I will not say on this podcast in Vietnamese because I have great friends who taught me the words.
I used to know. Again, speaking of Latin, I did because one of my friends took Latin in high school. I then instinctively learned a bunch of Latin insults.
It's the first things you learn in other
Exactly.
languages. It's the most useful of all the terms.
Exactly. Well, double dumbass on you. It's one of my favorites. Thank you, Star Trek. So, but look, Ford tells him, you didn't mean for this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
None of this is your fault. We didn't mean for the Wraith to show up and went on your
We
planet.
didn't start the fire.
It was always burning. I mean, since the world's been turning. Shit happens, kid.
Yeah.
So Groden notices something bad.
Mm-hmm.
The Hexus is wised up. It's not running in circles anymore. And thankfully, McKay's figured out how the mousetrap works. It's actually very simple. Turn it on, attract with lure, trap it. 2 buttons. Easy peasy.
Yep.
Someone just has to be there to press it. And John volunteers. McKay's like, okay.
It's so shitty for McKay.
It's so shitty because
To quote the Binge Mode podcast, tough luck for my guy McKay.
because there's no graceful way for him out of it.
He's like, not it.
It's like, hold up, wait a minute. Usnavi's leaving us for the Dominican Republic. Anyway, so the girl, okay, it's not Hamilton, it's still Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Fair.
But anyways, hold up, wait a minute, Weir says. McKay is wearing an invincibility shield.
Yeah.
Why should John go? Fair point. When suddenly the shield turns off and falls off McKay's
He's like,
chest.
what shield? I don't have a shield. What shields are what?
Dives into his protein bar.
Yeah, it's shield.
And Weir's basically, I told you so with a giant eye roll.
Yeah.
That is worthy of some sort of Real Housewives type thing.
she's all ready for daytime soap.
Yeah. And McKay tries to defend that. Look, it just came off. And I'm not scared. I'll go do it. That's fine. Look, it doesn't work for John either. It's fine. I should food.
Now imagine at this point being McKay and being not actually scared, because we find out eventually that he ends up, or not being so scared that you would put everyone else at risk.
I will say that he's definitely scared and afraid. He just rises to it,
which is makes him even braver in my eyes. But just imagine being in that position and trying to insist, like, no, fucking for real, dude. Like,
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. The frustration that must set in.
But also, there's that little bit where, in the moment, McKay
maybe a little relieved.
A little relieved, but it's also just in the moment, McKay can't. And I'm not saying I'd be able to either, but can't take the step back in order to go, maybe there was a little bit of an unconscious desire.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because of the fear. I mean, I think at that point, it's just hard to admit the fear.
That's what I'm saying. He's not able to, and he may not ever be able to, unless the man gets into some therapy.
Yeah.
If anyone on this, in the city needs to some therapy.
Get yourself some therapizing.
Get your shit, put it in a bag,
and take it to your therapist.
But yeah, there's no graceful way out. He's just like exit stage right. Like there's no
bye.
Just get out of the conversation.
Yeah. Power bar in hand. Gotta go.
So Teyla and Halling are putting Jinto to bed. And he was always told he shouldn't be afraid of the dark.
No.
But now, kind of literally should be afraid of the dark.
In the dark.
But Teyla lights a candle. Because the darkness won't come because it's afraid of fire.
I do love her fancy candle lighting way that she just nonchalantly does.
I also just love when she's like, everything is afraid of something.
Which is true.
100% true.
Yeah. And fear is absolutely part of what
existence.
We deal with. Yeah.
Like fear is part of existence. So we see the darkness, the Hexus moving through Atlantis. And the Athosians are lighting candles and praying and holding each other as Weir walks through and sees this. And Groden also remarks at the timing of McKay's shield turning off and how I mean, it wouldn't have worked on John, and McKay actually knows that because the two of them found the text that it's sort of like it imprints on the first person it turns on to. So the only person it would work for is McKay.
Right. So that's where we are.
Yeah.
Guys, I wasn't that scared. God. Is it basically what's happening?
Yeah. So then McKay comes in with a giant flashlight and a giant sandwich. And Weir lights a candle since Teyla told the children that the candle will protect them. But clearly she's doing it because it's just going to get dark and they need light. And McKay just sort of mocks her with her giant flashlight. And they're ready. So John turns the device on. Grodin turns everything else off. And it doesn't take long. And John's like, yeah, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
McKay's like, size doesn't matter. It gets trapped in subspace and blah, 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 blah. But I love when McKay's like, size doesn't matter. And John goes, that's a myth.
Yeah. Says the man who
probably doesn't have to worry about that. And
probably not.
Darkness.
Or let's take it the other way. Or maybe he has been concerned his whole life.
Maybe. Or he's one of those that is concerned but doesn't have to be.
No, he probably does not need to be at all.
No.
But
it's in the back of his head.
I don't even know how to continue this without getting NC-17, so I'm not gonna.
So in the darkness, takes one look at the containment unit and just buggers the fuck out of it because it's smart. So
damn it, it's like I hate it when you're finding a sentient thing that's smarter than you think it is.
I know. So in the morning, now they have some extra light. It must have been right before dawn. And they turn on some power to control room just to be able to see where the thing is now. And oh, look, it's heading straight to them now. And while they're going on with all this, Teyla's thinking. Because Teyla
is the smarty pants.
Is now, again, the difference. Teyla may not be the most book smarts intelligence of all of them, but Teyla is wise beyond her fucking years.
Well, Teyla has kept this entire crew of people alive despite the rape.
She is a badass warrior woman.
She's got a lot to offer.
Yes.
Just regardless of how smart everyone is, there's no one there who's got her experience except maybe Sheppard. And even Sheppard,
it's a different type.
Yeah, even Sheppard, he's been a soldier. I don't know that he's been in these like life-threatening things the way she has.
Yeah, it's a very different style.
Yep.
So she goes, look, it doesn't want to be here. It's been trapped here for thousands of years alone. So either not everyone can coexist here. Either we have to go or the Hexus has to go. Maybe it would welcome the chance to go through the Stargate.
Right. We're basically trapping it here. She would be a great dog trainer.
She would.
You know what I mean? Because she's like, don't fucking keep yelling at your dog. Your dog is scared. It keeps doing this thing because it's scared.
Whatever the Athosian versions of the horses, she's probably a horse whisperer.
Yeah.
So McKay sets up a neck regenerating the melt.
Maybe it's a Hexus whisperer.
It's a Hexus whisperer. McKay thinks this is a horrible, very bad idea. And Teyla warns that it's coming. So the thing is smart, McKay says, it's not going to get trapped again. Why would it follow a generator through a wormhole?
Right.
But he shuts the generator up, says good luck, and is out of there. Weir checks that John's okay, and he's like, I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I? I kind of have to be okay.
Yeah.
Because literally no one else is going to do this.
Bunch of pansies.
So up in the control room, Grodin has a barren wasteland that they found dialed up. And Weir admits to Teyla this is a very good idea. The plan seems to be going to plan for a bit. John sends the Melp to go forward as the darkness comes, just barely escapes it up the steps. The darkness swarms around the Melp, and then they can't see what's going on because dark, and they can't see if the Melp made it through the Stargate or not.
Poor Melpy, always the first guy to go.
But at this point,
talk about brave.
It's the brave little Melpy.
The brave little Melpy.
So the darkness could have drained the generator. It could be feeding off the gate. It's a disaster either way you cut it, according to McKay. And now all the consoles won't respond. They can't turn the gate off.
They fucked.
They fucked. And while the rest of the team tries to work the problem, McKay has an idea. And you can tell McKay's like, I don't want this idea, brain. Get this idea out of my brain.
Ideas.
I don't like this idea. But he pulls his shield out of his pocket. and he has this very fatalistic look on his face, which is kind of one of the main looks McKay has on his face. Fatalistic.
It's not about not having fear. What is that from? Game of Thrones? I think so. It's like everyone has fear. It's about what you do with your fear or something.
There's been a million variations of the same.
Yeah.
And he turns the shield on, and the rest of the team don't notice and look on with the darkness with horror. And McKay walks down the stairs, shield rippling, and they lose sight of him into the darkness. And McKay sees...
And then he and Malpy hold hands and live happily ever after.
Basically. Inside of the darkness, there's bubbles and stuff. Bubbles and stuff.
It is a very pretty darkness bubble.
It's a very pretty darkness bubble. And he takes the box that has a generator and he hurls it through the Stargate, and the darkness quickly follows it through the gate, heading entirely, like, leaving, and then just leaving a unconscious McKay. And I'm like, you've just left, like, I know I had to leave the city. There's only so many places to send it, but you basically just sent it to us, like, it's just gonna waste away to death there.
The darkness?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the point.
It is the point. It's just kind of a...
No, it's either it or us.
No, I know.
And we are, it's the wild, wild west.
Oh, again, what?
Yeah.
But I know it had to be done. I can still feel bad about it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if we're lucky, it'll find like a lady nexus.
Maybe there's a lady nexus there.
Yeah.
And then they're going to make a bunch of little hexuses.
And then they'll just eat the babies, and then everybody's fine.
That's fine.
It's not weird at all.
Look, there's animals that do that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the power has drained the shield. John calls for a medical team. He's still alive. He's not burnt like Ford was.
Can we talk about how long the medical team takes to get there? He's like, medical team now, and they're like, oh yeah, hang on, we gotta just finish this quick.
Well, they could be a couple floors down. It doesn't take that long for it to get there.
Let me hit a save point on this game real quick. I'll be right there.
And so McKay wakes up because he did it, and McKay must have passed out. And he's like, thank you for not saying the other thing.
I do love that part.
John stands up and explains to Teyla that was a Hail Mary.
Bum, bum, bum. And then he dances. I feel like I want him to dance more often, like just victory dances. And then and then McKay tries to sit up as the medics arrive. Yeah. And he's like, what took you so long? And they're like, we were finishing a game of Mario Kart. We were on the last lap. But we're here now.
It was the Rainbow Bridge.
And you're fine, so it's fine. Everything is fine.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is cool when you're part of the team.
It's not hide and seek.
This was fun. I want them to go off planet again.
Well, I mean,
but yeah, this
again,
is cool.
the second episode of SG1 was on base 2. We need to establish Atlantis.
You're right, and it is a really fucking pretty set. I would put a bunch of things on that
gorgeous.
Set too. It was fun. It was fun. I want to go off.
You're ready for more.
I am ready.
Yeah.
To see these guys out in the world, in the field, doing the things.
Yeah.
Kicking some ass.
Kicking some Wraith ass.
I dig it though.
Some Wraith hands.
I mean, those Wraiths are scary, so I don't blame them for being like, let's just stay here. It's pretty.
Let's just look at how pretty the city is.
Let's just hang out in the pretty
city. Let's watch some more sunsets.
Okay, bye.
So next up is SG1 0 Hour.
Bum, bum, bum.
And we may or may not, but may have a special guest star next week.
That's right.
We'll have to see if we all fit into this little camera view.
It's gonna be Stormy.
Yeah, Stormy's coming.
Stormy's working on his notes right now.
We're gonna translate his barks into English.
Yep, Latin. He barks in Latin.
He barks in Latin.
He's a very
he's an educated dog.
He's a very pretentious dog.
He's very pretentious.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If there's gonna be a pretentious dog among ours, no, it'd be Kaylee.
That's true. That's true.
There's a pretentious dog amongst ours.
Yeah.
It's Kaylee. Even more though than Lady.
No, Lady's just uptown.
Yeah.
Lady is in the best way possible, like the Soul Cycle, only vegan, super uptown lady.
Yes.
That's who she is.
Yeah. Kaylee's just a diva. Your standard badass diva.
Stormy and Drake are just two wild and crazy guys.
Wild and crazy guys. That song may or may not have been played at the wedding, guys. And by saying may or may not, I mean may.
Nice. All right. We
Okay.
will see you guys next week.
See you next week.
You know where to find us. On Twitter, we're at Terra Podcast.
On Facebook, we're at There's No Place Like Terra.
You can email us at theresnoplaceliketerra@gmail.com.
And patreon.com/There's No Place Like Terra.
And now Nixie is back, so we can actually respond to things. I was
Yeah.
trying my best, but I was like, spoilers. Spoilers
I
can
was
happen.
trying to get a couple things, and I think I haven't hit email yet, but I saw a couple things on Twitter.
Mhm.
I forwarded one to Grace
Yes,
that
I did see
specifically
the one.
said it had to be sent to Grace.
There was a couple of Facebook messages that I got scared to reply to.
Yeah, and again, while I've technically been back in the country for 2 days, my brain has not been back in the country
Yeah,
for
it
2
takes
days,
some time
and
to
it took
develop.
all my energy to like make these notes. So
Well-
I'll be getting things this week.
We love you guys. We'll see you next week with some Stargate SG1. Bye.
Bye. And then